What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Unhinged Podcast. My name is Evan Durazo.
My name is Anthony Pedreguera.
My name is David Saldana.
Christian Dye.
And Jonathan Tello.
And today we're going to be answering some questions about COVID-19, inflation, and gas prices.
Hi, my name is Aaron Eubanks, and I'm a senior at Columbus West High School. My friend Evan spoke with Ms. Richards about her thoughts and feelings over COVID-19 and inflation.
Okay. Okay, number one. What do you think the government or the world did differently to change this problem? As I'm talking about the inflation and COVID-19.
Okay. What do I think they've done?
Yeah, what do you think some good points that they did were?
Well, I think that just by recognizing how much, are we talking about the pandemic first, or are we talking about inflation?
Yeah, anyone.
Okay, all of those things. All right. Well, I think the first thing that they have done is at least acknowledge that there was a problem, and I think putting it out. Everybody, I mean, all Americans can feel it. We knew that there's been a very huge swing and fluctuation of gas prices, which impact everybody because you got to get to work. And then now it's down a little bit. We don't know why. There was some shutdowns of some refineries, and I think what happens is that people started to kind of distrust the causes for that. Like all of a sudden there's these refineries holding back oil, which made the prices go up. Mm-hmm. But I think we're on the right track now. At least like it's sustainable for the gas prices to be where they are. California has higher ones, we know that because of all the environmental taxes, but that's a whole nother issue. In terms of how the government handled the pandemic, I don't necessarily think we should have been like shut down the entire education system, all the businesses that suffered. People will never recover from that. It didn't affect me too much, except for the fact that I had to teach online, and that was terrible. I couldn't really impact the education of my students, but I was one of the lucky ones. It didn't affect my paycheck. I got paid the whole time, and so did my ex-husband, who was at FedEx, not a delivery guy, but he's the manager for FedEx Terminal, and his business blew up. He was working more than ever, so I felt kind of guilty that financially it really didn't impact me, but I'm super glad that's kind of behind us, and I'm kind of tired of talking about it.
Alrighty, well, your answer touched bases with question 2 and 3, so I'll do 3 and then 2.
Okay.
So number 3 is, did Zooming affect your way of teaching students?
Oh yeah, obviously. It was, at first I was trying to, when it first started out, I was in Arizona, and we just did asynchronous, so I was just loading assignments up in there. I didn't Zoom with my students. When I moved here, obviously we were Zooming, and that was a whole different level because they could see you, but then I was always like, what are you really doing in there? I'm like, oh, students could be doing whatever underneath that. I didn't even want to know what was going on in some of my classes, but it made it hard to get to know students, connect. I felt like it was barely any different than just loading assignments up there and, letting them do it on their own. But I think pretty much everybody, I think we just did the best we could.
Alrighty. And then question number 2 is, was gas changing a big problem for you with spending more money?
Yeah, it was $50 a tank, and then it was almost $100 a tank, and now it's about 60 something a tank. I got about a 18 gallon tank, but that does last me a while because it's, I don't live very far from school, so I don't go on big trips recently. But yeah, where it's almost doubled. So it went from maybe $200 a month to like $300 or $400 a month, and then now it's back down to, maybe about $250 or so. So that's,
that's not too bad.
Doable.
All right, 4th question. You don't have to respond to it. You don't have to answer. But what political side do you feel more associated with?
Well, I lean more towards, I would say, the liberal side, because I believe in I believe in helping people. I believe in, education and some of the social programs that we have. I don't want to live in a country where we just let people die on the side of the road. At the same time, I'm moving more towards the middle but on social issues, I'm definitely more liberal. I want to help people, but I also think we also need to teach them to be self-sufficient and not rely on others. So I think there's a fine line. I think that we've kind of swung too far in sometimes because people get lazy and complacent, and then they're not striving to make their lives better. Because why? If they don't have an incentive.
All right, and then the last question is final thoughts on everything.
Final thoughts.
What do you-
My final.
Past 5 years.
What do you think that we can do better as the US?
Okay.
What do you think we can do better to help COVID-19, to help inflation, to help gas?
All
prices?
those things. I think we can help.
Name one big policy that you
Oh,
would
gosh.
if you were president.
If I were president,
Yes, one
holy
big policy
moly.
that could help all that.
Okay, here's the thing. It's so big, not one person can solve it. That's what I want to say. It's very complicated. We got so many people. This is what I want. I want something that's going to unify people. I want people to get back to, it used to be regular. Like no matter who was in office, everybody respected the office and respected the fact that everybody's trying to do the best that they can for all Americans. We're never going to please everybody. That's for sure. However, I do feel like we can become a little bit more unified and not so polarized. Like, hey, we're all in this together. We want a good economy. We want to, live our lives and have our tax dollars going to programs that we support. I think we can all agree on a lot of things. We just don't agree on the way to go about it. And I just think that's stopping things from getting solved. So if I were to do one thing, I'd want to bring people together and realize, we're all just human and we have a lot of the same interests and a lot of the same goals, and stop fighting about the minutia, stop fighting about the silly stuff, and let's get something done. It's all just, be regular and get something done.
All right, thank you for being on Hitch Podcast.
Ow!
Ms. Richards found it quite challenging to use the online platform for COVID-19 online classes. However, the economy and inflation and how they impact our teaching and our capacity to make life decisions were a common concern. She concluded her excellent summary by saying that economics and politicians alike must agree on the most crucial issue facing the nations.
So continuing on to that, there's advantages and disadvantages to being on Zoom and online school. Personally, myself, I wasn't really affected with the disadvantages. I had a lot more advantages. One of them being I was able to be by myself in my room, kind of just chilling, and I didn't have a teacher like in my face, talking for 2 hours or whatever. I didn't really have any disadvantages. The only thing I'd say was a disadvantage would be if I had a late assignment and I turned it in, I wasn't able to go, ask the teacher like, hey, can you do this because, I'm on Zoom.
Emails would probably getting blown up with other emails like saying,
Yeah.
I don't have Wi-Fi, or I don't have a computer, or I've been gone for maybe for like 2 weeks doing something else. But
Exactly. Yeah.
that's
so,
pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, it honestly wasn't too bad.
I mean, yeah, more advantages. I cheated a lot. I don't care.
Amen.
I cheated a lot.
Amen.
Oh man, that was
So, I
A
mean,
lot.
I passed my freshman year with straight A's. So, I ain't really tripping about it in the beginning, but then after a few years, the year after coming back, I wish I stayed online.
But I think
So,
I think interacting in person was maybe the more of what we wanted
Shut the
during
fuck up, you're a
COVID.
nerd.
Okay. As I was saying, I think online schooling, yes, it had some benefits, but the other side that I couldn't really run with my teammates and my friends, and I couldn't really experience what it was like ending 8th grade year, because we were supposed to have that, I don't want to call it graduation, but that
Wild Waters.
Wild Waters.
we were,
I was so hyped up for that. I was remembering my mom was like,
Jonathan
yeah,
was
it's
about to
just
show
gonna
the
be-
six-pack out.
it was
Exactly.
gonna be fun and all this other stuff,
Cross-country
right?
body.
You're gonna have a great time after 8th grade, and then you
Also
go to
see some
freshman
hot
year,
women.
and then high school will be the same. But anyways, I think interacting with people were in person wasn't there, and it was kind of unsettling. Just staring at a screen for maybe 7 hours a day. I don't know. I think it was kind of boring, and
I mean,
it-
people
it-
people
it-
disagree.
I think
Yeah.
it disconnected people. That's what I can say. It disconnected people a lot. So that's all I got to do.
Well, I think with
Say.
me, I mean, I see an advantage with that. Me and my family, we took the opportunity to go on more vacations. We weren't able to do that. My dad had a busy life at work. Us as kids, we had a busy life with school. But now that it was remote, and it was as simple as just turning on the the computer and going onto a Zoom meeting, I mean, just much more easier. We were able to go to the beach, and I think it really did help, connect me and my family at least. So, I see that as a big advantage.
I think you got me quite literally. So the whole second semester, I transferred to Fresno Christian. And honestly, I have never seen a Christian school be less Christian. They put me in a strength and conditioning class, and I'm anorexic, so I can't do nothing. So, I've never seen anyone try to cheat out strength and conditioning PE class, but I mean, I cheated on that too. And then for some reason, people started keying cars. We had this homeless guy walk into a classroom. I don't even know how that even happened. I don't know how they even get through. And all the friends there too, man, I've never seen the biggest douchebags people in my life. Those people completely sucked. But the fun thing was too, so for biology, because I still had to finish up the year of biology, so I did that in Fresno Christian. So we had a dissection of a pig, and man, I'm telling you, I was Steph Curry with that pig's head. Man, I was shooting that thing in the trash bags, in the garbage. Man, you call me Steph Curry.
I mean, yeah, I think we can all pretty much agree, except for Jonathan because he's a nerd. But I think we can all agree that for the most part, COVID affected us more positively than negatively.
How about the death? How about the death rate?
We're talking about ourselves here.
Jonathan, who cares about the death rate? Okay, let's talk about inflation. What do you have to say about inflation?
Okay, so inflation, during COVID, it was in the minimum because that's how economics work. So you want to lower the taxes, which is beneficial, and then Biden passed a lot of laws and a lot of regulations, a lot of reinforcement that kind of help the people who couldn't really afford, or maybe on the blue collar workers, right? Mostly, they helped financially, and so basically the economy was stable in the beginning of the pandemic because he kind of
no, actually, it wasn't. It just dropped, to be honest.
Okay, yes, it dropped because
it dropped.
That's how inflation works. You want to lower the rate of tax, and then you want to increase it to help benefit the economy. That because you can't just go from low tax to high tax because that's
Could if you want.
No, the demand of supply wouldn't flow through the
hold on.
the charts.
Talking about supply. Let's talk about toilet paper. Did that affect you guys?
I forgot about
honestly,
that.
for me,
Man, I like with my
we
hand.
didn't have shit. We didn't have shit at my house.
Okay,
we didn't have shit at my house.
Yeah.
Actually, we had to resort to baby wipes.
I forgot about that. So yeah, the pandemic it affected the grocery outlets and the other markets, right? So people just panicked to get toilet paper. I think that was just the thing. And hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, toilet paper.
Yeah.
I remember.
Masks.
I remember on eBay.
I wouldn't wear my
hand
mask.
sanitizer cost maybe more than $51 to buy one.
Yeah, so
it was very expensive.
So when we got back into school sophomore, I remember we all had to wear masks. I didn't wear it, and I got after school detention, Saturday school, all that stuff. I didn't really give a fuck. But to be honest, it didn't really affect me like that. The only thing that affected me was I remember I had a mini fridge. Okay, and my stepfather, he wouldn't allow me to put all my stuff in the fridge because I had a mini fridge, so I had to pay for the electricity, and I also had to buy the stuff to put in the mini fridge. So I bought drinks, I bought eggs, all that stuff, and the bill was racking. It was honestly just so sky high with all the inflation just rising up. It was actually unbelievable. I don't know how that affected you guys, but for me, it got me good. I'm not gonna lie.
And gas prices, it's still up today because I don't want to say we're running short, but maybe because of the policies that the politicians like Biden, the vice president,
he's a dumbass.
his candidates, and his boards of admission, they really
All
don't
dumbasses.
they don't look at the economics as maybe say Trump did.
Biden doesn't look at anything. He falls asleep.
Okay,
Sleepy Joe.
Okay, he cares more about
Sleeping.
the global
And ice
aspect
cream.
of the world, but he's not focusing
Didn't he
towards
talk about ice
the
cream?
the U.S. economy as much as anywhere else. Because
Last
I
time I
don't
checked,
think
you
it really
spill
cares.
kids.
I don't think it really cares about the economy. I mean, really think
Hey,
about
Jonathan,
all our tax
I
dollars.
think you got your facts wrong, bro.
Man, I got destroyed by that man Biden, bro. He was trying to sniff me.
Exactly. He was trying to sniff you too?
All my tax dollars.
Exactly,
He was trying to.
For what?
He was-
Middle Eastern?
he was
What
using
are
our-
those Middle Eastern doing for us?
He was using our
okay,
tax
the
dollars
reason
for
why
ice
we're
cream.
invading Ukraine is because Russia's over there and they're spreading their
That's what Lil Yachty
I
said,
don't want to say
man. F them
communism,
kids.
Exactly.
but the diplomatic reasons and stuff like that. They just want more land that was theirs before or after. I mean, World War II, because they lost that land
Well,
because of the Allies, the Axis.
speaking of allies,
But I think the reason why we're not benefiting from this war, actually. We're kind of suffering, and we're suffering by
Kinda.
the gas taxes and the high demand of minimum wage, which affects the price of retail stores, like the products and items, like such as, I don't know, let's say meat, right? Maybe a
That's what she
pound
said.
of it could be maybe more than like $5 than
Yep.
it was like 4 years ago.
why do you think it's a whole bunch of websites,
It's
bro?
because of the minimum wage. If it's higher, then everything goes higher because of that. Demand spikes up. So
Uh-huh.
now those people are like, okay, they're getting paid more than $20 more than it was like, I don't know, 4 years ago, which was 15. So now we have to suffer with this consequence in this era after COVID-19, which was like very, very is satisfying in the politician or the politics and economics kind of stage. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck you were just
I
talking
don't know.
about. You were ranting on, but honestly, I can say let's go to gas prices because you were talking about how everything went up in gas prices and all that. So I'm broke as hell. I had a $20 bill in my wallet. I filled up before I came to Christian's house. This is where the podcast is being recorded, by the way. Shout out to Christian's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We got some Mountain Mike's pizza, and we only finished a box, so we got some leftovers. But going back to gas prices, I had a $20 bill. I drive a 2013 Dodge Challenger RT. It's a 6-speed manual. I put in a 20, and it didn't even get me to a quarter of a tank. So by the time I get home, I'm gonna be on empty again. Jonathan, I know you drive a Nissan. Anthony drives a 2024 Acura TLX. David with the Tahoe, and Christian with the F-150. So tell me about your guys' gas prices, because mine's terrible.
Oh, it's terrible, man. I mean,
Terrible.
I gotta keep it. Once it hits a quarter tank, I put $20 in there. It's barely going to the half.
Exactly.
You know, it's expensive, man. It's
it's
it's not easy.
I don't know. I want to say like 25 minutes from here, and yes, I have a Nissan, which like consumes like a lot of gas, which is really good for the ecosystem and my wallet, right? But to fill up gas, it's like maybe like $50. But like David said, yeah, when it gets to half a tank, you have to put like 20 to survive for like 3 days or maybe
Amen.
hopefully 4.
There we go. Anthony, tell us about your Acura. Because honestly, dude, when I saw you pulled up to the house and that, I was, dude, like, I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but you know how I felt about that. It got me excited in a different type of way. Tell me about that. Tell me about the gray. What were you saying about the gray?
The gray color.
Oh,
We have a little technical difficulties right now.
Christian's dog's ball just went into a pool.
If we're talking about gas, I gotta fill up every week compared to my other car that I had before. I gotta fill up every week now instead of every 2 weeks. That sucks because it's coming out of my pocket.
Yep.
And so, filling up every week or every 4 days, it sucks. The gas, and it's probably gonna keep on going up instead of going down. So.
Yeah. Christian, tell us about you.
Oh man, I ain't about to lie. I be using daddy's money. What you thought this was? I ain't definitely not paying for that. Like, definitely not. That is all on the company if I ever heard about it. Like, I be paid nothing. But like the only stuff I be seeing, I mean, man, like about $100 to fill up a tank. Like that was
Damn.
pretty crazy if I was poor and couldn't afford it. But I mean,
Jonathan.
well, I mean, last
How
time I
is
checked,
it-
man, my parents, man, they be rich, and yeah, I am not affected. Honestly, I'm just kind of looking at the poor people and laughing at them.
Oh my god, dude.
So honestly, I think all the questions got answered, but I do want to bring up one more thing, and I think it's been a debate for a long time. It is electric cars versus gas cars. Okay, so personally, myself, I drive a gas car. I love it. I love the exhaust, even though I got state ref, I had to put it back on, but I love it. Everybody here drives a gas-powered car, but I know there is one person in particular that is obsessed over electric cars,
I'm
like
not
a little
obsessed.
girl.
It's just like I think it's a new way.
A new way of what?
For the sake of humanity.
Only gay people
For
say
the
that.
sake of humanity.
LGBTQ supporter. Gay.
Okay, first, people are people. They're still the children of God, right? Okay,
Besides the black
anyways,
ones.
Well, last time I checked, he wanted Chinese to spy on him. He
No,
does not
I never
care about his
said-
security.
Did I say that?
He wants Chinese to spy on him, and whenever he was in the shower, yeah, I don't know why, but he's definitely into that.
What
Yeah,
I
to
even
be
say?
spied on.
Jonathan's more on the fruity side, but we'll leave that for the next interview. Anyway, so Jonathan, tell me why you think electric cars are more
Okay.
beneficial than gas.
If I'm not interrupted by you guys,
just
for
go
the-
on. Just go on.
For the sake of humanity, for the sake of the next generation, I think it would be.
I'm gonna go get another soda.
I think it would be like. It would have to move towards gas to electric because there's not infinite amount of resource of fossil fuel. There's not infinite amount of maybe.
Okay, you're right.
Rubber in the whole world for tires.
You're right.
You get tires
You're
from
right.
Africa. They're on like a global recession right now. And anyways, about electric cars, I think they're just the new way. I mean, Tesla's been showing like very profitable, like very I don't want to say cheap, but it's like more affordable cars that people can drive, and it's still nice, and it's like high tech.
Hey, I have a question for you real quick. How much did your Nissan cost?
It's a used one.
How much did your Nissan cost?
I think it's like maybe like a 15.
How much does a Tesla cost?
I want to say like
Anthony, could you tell us
Yeah,
real quick how much
I
a
don't
Tesla
know.
costs? Just do like what? Is there like a 2020 Tesla 2021? I don't even.
I mean, you can
I don't
always
even know
find a
Teslas
used one
like
at
that.
CarMax or something
No,
like that.
no, CarMax wants to sell Teslas. Bullshit.
23 Model 3
Okay,
is
so-
27.
Okay,
Okay,
so
27,
a
but-
2023
Okay, that's
Model
how. But that's
3
how.
is $27,000.
But that's how cars work. They decrease their value every single year because that year is not as high tech or as high quality as next year. They always like decrease the value in the market. That's where they just sit there and stuff like that. And maybe when people are looking at to get cars, like it's either gas or electric, people are probably just gonna look at electric cars because I mean,
Okay.
you see all around. Maybe River Park. I seen it at River Park. I seen it next to I know it's on Blackstone. I think that's the one I'm referring to. Blackstone. There's all these like electrical Tesla plug-in charges for the
Okay,
Tesla.
okay.
I don't know how that works.
Shut
but
up
I've
with all
seen
that. You're
these
talking
other-
too much. Just answer me a question. What are batteries made out of?
titanium, right? And like
And?
other
I want you to look up what a battery is made out of.
My phone's right there
Actually, Anthony,
recording.
could you look up what a battery is made out of? Just put Tesla.
Yes,
What
okay,
is a
it's
Tesla
like petroleum,
battery?
petroleum. Yes, it's like very
spell
expensive
that.
and very
Okay, let's just use that. I don't know how to pronounce
Okay,
the word.
if we
but let's,
use gas to maybe, bro. Okay, anyways, I think Teslas are.
Hey.
Elon Musk is doing a really good job of pushing electric cars and its electrical kind of way of.
okay, so not to burst your bubble or anything.
But
I
yes,
know,
gas cars are still good and stuff like that, reliable. But I think maybe in the near future, electric cars would be as.
You're such a nerd.
Okay.
Okay, so real quick, so the stuff that's in a battery that makes the Teslas that you love, that you're going
Yes, it
crazy
goes to
over.
waste. Yes, it goes to waste. But
No,
we still.
no. Well, that too. But let's continue. Christian's doing something right now. It's kind of
Oh.
distracting me. But let's get back to it. So, not to burst your bubble, but diesel-powered vehicles. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Diesel-powered vehicles are digging up all the stuff. Okay, that your Tesla batteries
Yes, but if we
require.
use that.
Shut up. That your Tesla batteries are required to be able to even function. Okay, so if it wasn't without our diesel and gas powered vehicles, you're digging up your petroleum or your whatever, titanium or whatever you're talking about. There,
No,
there,
it's like copper too.
copper,
Aluminum.
whatever.
It's a bunch
There,
of stuff for
there
batteries.
wouldn't be any Teslas. Now, I agree with you on the whole Elon Musk thing. Elon Musk, he's a pimp. I believe everybody in the world likes him.
Yeah,
He-
absolutely, yeah.
SpaceX is doing so much better than NASA. NASA's been around here for like maybe more than 80 years now, and it's
Exactly.
It's only been around for like maybe 10 years. They're already putting rockets in the sky and landing them like to reserve fuel because that's his whole plan: reserving fuel and
Uh-huh.
making more.
And he's voting for Trump.
Yeah, anybody.
okay,
Yeah, that's the
because
whole- yeah.
because he's like okay, I can give it to him. Trump does know his statistics and his economic ways, but he doesn't like know how to reestablish his other
Otherwise,
other nations, or maybe
Well,
other.
hold on.
wait,
hold on.
yeah, let's
Hold
go on that
hold
real quick.
Oh
So
my
how
God.
many
Hold on.
how many wars did Biden start?
He
Or
did
how
not
many-
start. He did not
okay,
start.
Let's,
He-
let's
What
not
U.S.
start.
president has met a North Korean leader?
Trump.
Which U.S. Yeah,
Trump
only
has,
Trump.
yes.
Only Trump.
Only Trump.
Well,
so,
because we don't want to make
so-
contact with him.
so-
Who wants to meet him?
Yeah, then how was that? It was a good meeting. It was a good meeting.
Okay,
Trump
maybe
made,
it was,
made
but
more friends with different countries than Biden did. Biden
Even
made
Putin.
more enemies than Trump did. Trump had
yes,
the
I agree.
Trump
Keep-
had the economy
keep your
going
friends closer
so
and-
good. Trump had the economy going. Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't
see?
say that.
No,
I'm leaving that out. Dude, why do you even say
no,
that?
hold on.
Why do you
You're
say
Hey, yo,
that?
it's okay.
We
Hey,
can't
so-
say
But why is that?
what?
That's not even.
It's a podcast.
That's not even relevant to the topic we're talking
Hey,
about.
dude, it's our podcast. What is Miss Richards gonna do about it?
Well, now I have to bleep it
Well,
out. Now she's not even gonna know what she said.
Okay, well, Miss Richards, if you're
my
watching this, if you
God.
allow us to play this in class,
It's really honest.
No,
it,
okay, okay, so
it
back
wasn't
to
it
topic,
wasn't
back to
bad like that.
topic.
It wasn't bad like that. Anyways, going back to what I was saying.
He's a model.
Trump had the economy going so damn good, okay?
Well, how
and
about
then
his-
when Biden went into office, everything dropped within the first 100 days. He has 4 years, and what, November is when the whole thing's going to go on again?
Election, yeah.
Yeah, election day or election month or whatever. The first 100 days he made it drop way below what Trump ever had it. So can you explain that? Can you explain how? Hold on, let me
Yes,
finish. Let
I
me
don't-
finish real quick.
I think I'm more of-
Could you explain how he's at a press
Why am I
conference
just
or
talking-
whatever
you guys-
talks about ice cream? Can you explain how he got the nickname Sleepy Joe?
Well, at least I
could
don't
you
have
hold
a
on?
president who
Hold on. Could you?
raised the capital of January 6th. Who
Where's your evidence
the hell
on that?
talks about that?
Where's your-
He's on stage. He's on stage. That's all the evidence you can find on YouTube.
For the
January
viewers, his
6th,
glasses
Trump.
are off.
Then you find it.
His glasses off. You just put him back on. He's sitting back down, guys. He's he's never mind. He's back in the
Oh my
mode.
God.
Okay. Anyway, I don't think there's any actual evidence on that.
He treats it too, doing
So-
it. He said we're gonna have the biggest
so-
rally, the biggest blah blah blah.
So
And
a rally
we're gonna-
a rally isn't
He
what
even-
that was.
No, they were even chanting out there, the people who are up there, the Republicans, and
So obviously you're a liberal.
there's other members that I want to announce because I'm gonna bleep it out. But anyways, they were chanting to hang. What's his name? What's the vice president? The former vice president?
Mike Pence?
Yes, Mike Pence. Why would you even say that? We're not two divisional politics, or two divisional sides. We have to be equal.
That's not how it
what
works, though.
No, that's how Trump.
Unfortunately, that's not how our
There's
government
there's
Yes,
a reason why
Trump-
there's the
Trump-
Republican
Trump did
Party
that.
and the
It was
Democratic
never like
Party.
that. It was never like that.
It
I heard these
was
other
like that.
stories about Obama sitting down with his running candidates, eating dinner at the same time,
Uh-huh.
just talking as friends. But now you're saying that you can't just say that Joe Biden and Trump, one of them is better. You can't just say that. The
well,
two different people, people different. Maybe reestablishing something else, like Biden's all in that LGBTQ stuff and
yeah, that's why he likes to touch
racial
kids.
stuff. There's no evidence for that.
Search up YouTube, Google.
Yes, YouTube.
It's probably on that one
that's
nasty
fake.
website.
Just
to be
go
honest.
to the news. Search at abcnews.com or at New York's Times newspaper. That's all you can search up.
Why would you go
maybe,
to a newspaper when
NBC.
there's YouTube? When there's
'Cause
literally
YouTube,
every
they
single
can
website,
post-
Safari,
that's the other thing,
Google,
too.
YouTube,
False information.
X.
Like we talk about how TikTok's getting banned. It's happening right now.
Okay.
I think it's very beneficial because yes,
Nobody's
China's-
talking about that. We don't got enough time for that. We're ready in almost 22 minutes. Okay, so let's finish up.
She's not
because-
ready to-
let's finish up because Jonathan's getting too riled up right now. He's
Well,
not
nobody
in a
else
good
is
state of
talking.
mind.
You're asking
Everybody
me.
else is
John,
playing with
you're
the
the- but
dogs.
you're the only one without opinion.
Okay, everybody. Okay, so before we end this, I just want to say this podcast is sponsored by Lalicious Condoms. If you guys don't know them, you can get them at any Walgreens, Walmart, Target. Pretty much, it's an economic friendly, unlimited lubed condom. That's all I gotta say. Try it out for you guys yourself. What was that?
Okay, sick.
Thank you for tuning into the Unhinged podcast. We'll see you guys later.